Picture this. You get paid on Friday. You feel good, maybe even a little relieved. You don't go crazy. You don't book a vacation. You don't buy anything wild. You just live. And then 3 weeks later, you look at your bank account and you can't explain what happened. The money is just gone. No single big purchase. No obvious mistake, just gone. If that sounds familiar, you're not bad with money. You just don't have a system for the moment that matters most. The 24 hours right after you get paid. And that's exactly what this video is about. This video is for you if you're working hard, covering your bills, and still feeling like you're never actually getting ahead. Maybe you've tried budgeting apps. Maybe you've watched plenty of videos like this one, but nothing has stuck because most advice tells you what to do without telling you in what order to do it. Order matters more than willpower. Here's the truth nobody tells you. The problem isn't discipline, it's sequence. When you don't have a clear sequence for your money, your brain fills the gap, and it almost always fills it with spending. Today, I'm going to walk you through a 5-step paycheck routine. Do these 5 things in order every single time you get paid, and I promise you, money will stop disappearing. Now, one of these steps is going to feel completely backwards. Most people do it last. You should do it first. I'll tell you which one in a minute. There's also one step that literally guarantees you a return on your money. No stock market involved. No risk. We'll get to that too. Let's go. Step 1. Run your paycheck audit. The very first thing you do when that deposit hits your account, before you pay a single bill, before you buy groceries, before you do anything, is run what I call a paycheck audit. This takes about 10 minutes. That's it. Here's how it works. Open your last 2 or 3 bank statements, not to feel bad about them, just to see the full picture. Go through every transaction and tag each one with one of 2 labels, fixed or flexible. Fixed expenses are the ones that show up every month at roughly the same amount. Rent, car payment, insurance, your phone bill, utilities. These are predictable. You can plan around them. Flexible expenses are everything else. Groceries, gas, eating out, streaming services, random online orders at midnight. These are where the invisible drain usually hides. Here's a quick question. How many subscription services are you paying for right now? Take a guess. Most people guess 3 or 4. The actual average American household pays for 7 and forgets about at least 2 of them. Once you've tagged everything, add up your fixed column. That's your floor, the minimum your life costs each month. Write that number down. We'll use it in step 2. You're not trying to feel guilty about what you find. You're just getting honest. Think of it like a doctor running blood work before they prescribe anything. You can't treat a problem you haven't diagnosed. Step 2. Know your floor. Now that you have your fixed total, it's time to set your floor. Your floor is the minimum amount you need to keep your life running. Housing, utilities, transportation, insurance, food basics. Not luxuries, not subscriptions, just the essentials. Here's the benchmark that changed how I think about money. Your floor should ideally be 50% or less of your take-home pay. That's a widely used guideline in personal finance. You may have heard it called the 50-30-20 rule. 50% for needs, 30% for wants, 20% for savings and debt. Now, I want to be honest with you. If you're living in a major city, making an entry-level income, that 50% target might feel completely out of reach right now. That's okay. Don't let perfect be the enemy of progress. The goal of knowing your floor isn't to shame you, it's to give you clarity. Because once you know your floor, once you have that number, you immediately know how much you have left to work with. And that's when you stop guessing and start deciding. Remember I said one step feels completely backwards? Here it is. Most people pay their bills first, then spend whatever's left, then try to save what's left after that. But what if you flipped it? What if your savings and debt payments came before your spending, not after? That's what steps 3, 4, and 5 are built on, and it changes everything. Step 3. Fund your firewall. Step 3 is building what I call your firewall, your emergency fund. I know. You've heard this before, but stay with me. Because most people explain emergency funds the wrong way. Here's the myth. An emergency fund is for responsible people who have extra money. Here's the fact. An emergency fund is what creates financial stability in the first place. It's not a reward for doing well. It's the foundation that lets everything else work. Here's why this matters so much right now. According to recent data, roughly 57% of Americans couldn't cover an unexpected $1,000 expense without going into debt. That means most people are one car repair, one medical bill, one broken appliance away from a financial setback that wipes out months of progress. Your firewall should cover 3 to 6 months of your floor, that baseline number you calculated in step 2. So if your essential monthly expenses are $2,000, your target is $6,000 to $12,000 parked in a high-yield savings account. These accounts currently offer around 4 to 5% APY. That stands for annual percentage yield, which is how much your money earns per year, dramatically better than the near-zero rate on a standard checking account. You don't build this overnight. You build it consistently. A practical starting point. Direct 10 to 15% of every paycheck into this account automatically. Set it up as an automatic transfer the same day you get paid. Out of sight, building quietly. Once your firewall is fully funded, and only then, you unlock the ability to take bigger swings with your money. Until it's funded, everything else is built on sand. Step 4. Attack the silent tax. Here's the step that can feel discouraging, but it's the one that will quietly free you faster than almost anything else. If you have high-interest debt, credit cards, payday loans, personal loans above 10% APR, which stands for annual percentage rate, meaning the yearly cost of carrying that debt is acting like a silent tax on every dollar you earn. You work all month, and a percentage of your effort just disappears, automatically, into someone else's pocket. Here's why I want you to think about it as a guaranteed return. Let's say you have a credit card charging you 22% APR. Every dollar you put toward paying that off is like earning a guaranteed 22% return. No stock, no index fund, no investment of any kind consistently delivers that. The S&P 500 has historically averaged around 7 to 10% per year, and that comes with risk and volatility. Paying off a 22% debt is mathematically better than almost any investment you can make right now. Remember when I said there's a step that guarantees a return on your money with no market risk? This is it. There are 2 popular strategies for paying down debt. The avalanche method, pay minimums on everything, then throw all extra money at the debt with the highest interest rate first. This saves the most money over time. The snowball method, pay minimums on everything, then pay off the smallest balance first, regardless of interest rate. This builds momentum and feels rewarding, which helps some people actually stick with it. Neither method is wrong. The best one is the one you'll actually follow through on. A good target. Once your firewall is in place, direct 20 to 30% of your take-home pay toward high-interest debt until it's gone. Then that same money becomes available for Step 5. Step 5. Put money to work before you can spend it. Now here's where things get genuinely exciting, because this is where the momentum shifts. Once your firewall is funded and your high-interest debt is cleared, you have real money to build wealth with. The key is making sure it never sits in your checking account long enough for you to spend it. The 2 accounts every American should know about are the 401k and the Roth IRA. If your employer offers a 401k with a match, contribute at least enough to get the full match. This is free money. If your employer matches 4% of your salary and you're not contributing at least 4%, you are leaving part of your compensation on the table. A 401k also reduces your taxable income today, which means you pay less in taxes right now. A Roth IRA works differently. It lets you invest money you've already paid taxes on, and then your investment grows completely tax-free. When you retire and start withdrawing, you pay 0 taxes on those gains. In 2024, you could contribute up to $7,000 per year. If you're investing in a low-cost index fund, like one that tracks the S&P 500, which is a basket of 500 of the largest U.S. companies, inside a Roth IRA, you're getting long-term market growth with no tax bill waiting at the end. for educational purposes only. This is not individualized financial advice. Contribution limits and rules change, so always verify with the IRS website or a licensed financial professional. Here's the key habit. Automate these contributions. Schedule them for the same day your paycheck arrives. You never see the money. You never have the option to spend it. It just quietly builds. And one day you check the balance and you're genuinely surprised by how far you've come. Let me guess. Right now, one of two thoughts is running through your head. Objection 1. This sounds great, but I barely make enough to cover my bills. I can't do this. Here's what I'd say. Start with whatever you can move. Even $25 per paycheck into an emergency fund is progress. Even paying an extra $30 a month toward your highest interest card is momentum. The system doesn't require a perfect income. It requires a consistent sequence. You scale the amounts as your income grows. The habit comes first. Objection 2. I already spent half my paycheck before I watched this. Is it too late for this month? No. Start with what you have left. Even a partial audit, a $50 transfer to savings, and an extra debt payment this cycle builds the muscle. You're not trying to recover the past. You're building a new default behavior, starting now. Think of it less like a budget and more like a pre-decision. You're deciding in advance what your money will do, so you don't have to fight yourself every time you open your banking app. So let's bring it all together. Every time you get paid, run through these 5 steps in order. 1. Run your paycheck audit. 2. Know your floor. 3. Fund your firewall. 4. Attack the silent tax. 5. Put money to work automatically. You don't need more income to start. You don't need a finance degree. You just need a sequence. And now you have one. If this gave you a new way to think about your paycheck, do me a favor. Hit the like button right now. It genuinely helps this video reach someone who needs it. And if you want to keep building on what you learned today, subscribe and turn on notifications. I put out practical money content every week, no fluff. I'll see you in the next one.